Drugs are in our water supply. I'm going to talk to you today not just about the drugs they want to put into our water supply, but about drugs that are already there. This is not fictitious. I'm talking about drugs in our water supply that we drink, that we bathe in, that we feed to our children's and our family. Let's take a look at this first one right here. There is a whole bunch of studies done, and I cover 3 in this research here. That is Japan, Texas, and Austria. And all of them found this. The findings suggest that even at very low levels of lithium in the drinking water may play a role in reducing suicide risk within the general population. So, why not just add some lithium in the water supply? Hey, we want to stop people from suicides. We can give them that soma. If you read Brave New World, you know what soma is. That's the happy drug. And what about this one here? More the same. These findings indicate that natural levels, here this is the natural one, of lithium in the drinking water might have a protective effect on the risk of suicide among females. So they're saying, look, the natural areas where they had higher lithium, they did better. And of course that leads into the next one. Should lithium be added to the drinking water to help prevent suicide? And they're saying, look, we're already doing it with fluoride. Why don't we just add it? This is extreme. People should be upset just hearing this. Look at what they've done with the fluoride. They have mass medicated individuals. You and I are those people that they are mass medicating on a grand scale. Let me go on quickly. They tested over 6,000 samples of the drinking water and 99 districts in Austria. Districts with the higher lithium levels tended to report lower suicide rates. What an excellent study proving that we should just add it to the water supply everywhere, because that way everyone will be happier. What an excellent idea. That's the sort of mentality they use with the whole fluoride thing. And now we have a substance called hydrofluorosilicic acid in the water supply. It's not even fluoride, but they can pass it off as just that. And of course, the osteosarcoma and all the other side effects that I've covered in other videos are not talked about. But hey, let's go on. Increasing the human lithium intakes by supplementation or the lithiation of drinking water is suggested as a possible means of crime, suicide, and drug dependency reduction at the individual and community level. That's when the government steps on our toes and goes beyond that and begins to drug us. They are suggesting if we put a drug in the water supply, it's going to fix a lot of the problems that we're having. At the same time, people are going to be happier, so we should do it for their own good. This is the nanny state. This is when the government comes in and controls every facet of your life. Well, I'll be damned if I'm going to allow this to happen. I personally filter my water, my drinking water, with a Berkey filter that will get rid of this stuff. But I'm still washing my hands with the fluoride water and all this other water. But let me go on very quickly before I get into that. Drugs in the waters. In 80% of the streams that they did a test on, they found 1 or more pharmaceutical contaminants. One location even tested positive for 38 out of 95 measures. So depending on where you live, you're going to get a different rate of this runoff. And let me go into a very quick explanation. We are, as a society altogether, people are taking lots of different pharmaceutical drugs, and then they go to their bathroom, and that waste gets pushed off into the drinking water supply. And of course, it is not filtered to the degree that it nearly should be. So what they do is they pump in all sorts of chemicals and chlorine, and that's their method of filtration generally. So we are then inundated with this pharmaceutical runoff. So they did a whole bunch of tests. I'll put the link in the description as always, and they found mass quantities and measurable quantities of every different type of drug: antidepressants, SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. They found anticonvulsants. They found every type of drug inside the water supplies, drinking water supplies. And you and I are taking that back and taking that in. Meanwhile, we're feeding this, we're feeding this to our children. And what do you think? All this all these things that are happening. They're coming from two major sources. There's many sources, but two major sources, one being the food supply and one being the water supply. But people are usually have this two options here. They think that, okay, I'm drinking the tap water or I'm drinking the bottled water, and each one thinks that, one is better than the other. The fact remains is that if you're not doing any sort of filtration after you get your water, you're going to run into this. You're getting pharmaceutical runoff in the water supply. If you're drinking out of the bottled water, it's probably just tap water in many instances. And if it's not, it still has the bisphenol A, which in addition was found inside of this water supplies. So you're getting inundated with the bisphenol A that is just ruining individuals. It is an estrogen mimicker, so it hyperfeminizes the women, it feminizes the men, and it's causing a huge destruction in the ecosystem itself. Let me go on. This here is about Ontario specifically, and they did a test from the water coming from Lake Erie. And let me just read this very quickly. The Ontario Ministry of Environment provided detailed information on the polluting drugs. Three pharmaceutical drugs and a byproduct of plastic manufacture, what I just said, bisphenol A, were detected in drinking water samples. Anti-epileptic, they found a lipid-regulating statin. Many people might be on this drug. 2 of 5 samples at around of this one of an antibiotic. Bisphenol A was detected in 1 of the 5 samples. So you're finding all this different type of drug runoff, different type of, essentially all this garbage, pharmaceutical drugs that are in the water supply, and they're ruining people, and people don't even realize it. It's in the water. You have to filter your water. The Brita is, sure, it's better than nothing, I agree, but something like a Berkey filter is going to be the high level water filtration, and if you're not taking that into account, you're really missing out on something here. And without when we're inundated with all these chemicals, of course we can't see straight. Of course we don't have the energy to continue to fight against the globalists. Look what's happening to us. Look what's happening to our population. We're dying, we're sick. One of the most important things is having a clean water supply. I know that's pretty obvious, but people need to realize, need to take action. If you want to know what I do, I bought the Berkey filter a few years back. It's the greatest thing I've ever spent my money on. It cost me, about $250 or so, including shipping. I got it sent to me. I've been using it every single day. I only drink out of that, and provides good, clean water at a very, very cheap price. It's what they use when they go off into Kosovo and all this sort of thing, because it doesn't require power. It's made of all stainless steel. I really recommend it. Please do not drink the tap water. Do not drink the bottled water. And just please do yourself and your family a favor and filter that out. If you want to know one place to get it, it is down in the description on all my videos where I say prepare for collapse. It's the Amazon store. You can go on there, but feel free, go anywhere. Just get your water filtered out, please. And if you guys aren't already, please join the Insiders. This is basically a way for me to get in touch with you should YouTube shut me down. And it is progressively getting closer and closer. They are telling me I'm using copyright material all the time. It's a big joke. But anyway, get on the Insiders. At the very least, it will act as a backup so that if they do shut me down, I can just email you guys and you get an email for where I am right now. I'd really appreciate if you shared this video with your family and friends, because we're desperate. We're losing the fight in many ways, and we're gaining on them in other ways too. So please inform your family, inform your friends to filter their water. That's my message of today.